Hello, hello, hello. Happy weekend, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. And welcome to all the amazing new members we have in the family. If you're seeing the face for the first time, it's your girl, Lucia Bini, aka Brightest Loop. Yeah, it's a blessing to have you on side. My phone wasn't on silence. So it's always a blessing to talk with amazing people and share opinions, share ideas, and go together, which for me is the most important thing. To go as a family. Personal success is good, but trust me, success as one is even better. And you definitely want to always have a taste of that. So yes, as usual, I'm going to give few minutes of music break so that everyone can have the notification that we are live. And we encourage you that as you join, please do your own due diligence to share and invite somebody not to miss this important conversation. Stay patient with us. We own no copyrights for the song we're playing. Oh, I know where the love is. I just love Jesus. I must wait of Jesus. I guess we love Jesus. People will love Jesus. A new generation. God is crazy. I must we love Jesus. I guess we love Jesus. People will love Jesus. Okay, guys, so please, as you join, make yourself visible in the comment section. This is a live session for everybody. It's not for a particular tribe of people, race, or religion. So feel free. We don't bite. God is blessing on the name of Jesus. Of Jesus. It's well of Jesus. People will love Jesus. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Choo, 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 choo. Oh, ooh. So as we come in, please do share with your loved one, tag your loved one. We're starting in a few minutes' time. Hey, you know the power, you know the pass me, I tell you. Hey, are there some chosen people in the house? Let's know in the comment section. Pass me, I tell you. Hey, Jabba. Hey. Number. December, Jesus taking over. No copyright infringement intended for this song. Jesus taking over. Hey, welcome in, guys. Let's know where you're watching us from, please. God is rising, find us will of Jesus. Find us will of Jesus. People will of Jesus. Hey. Hey, my brother, Alice, welcome in. Thank you for joining. You're starting in a few minutes. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Let's know, please, where you're watching us from as you join. Hello. I am one of them. Oh, you never pass me by, you never pass me at all. Hey, 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 hey. They don't pass me by, oh. Hey, Jesus taking over. Oh, no. Hey, Jesus taking over. Oh, yeah. So we're just giving a few minutes for everybody to receive the notification, then we get started. So as you join, guys, let's know where you're watching us from. People will be done. Okay, welcome in everybody and happy weekend to us all. How is everyone doing? I hope we all are having a blessed and amazing weekend. If you're new to this program, it's all about family. We all are one people. I know we live in a society and time, our generation and time. Welcome in Jerry, where we have so many elements of division to tell us we are different, but the truth will never change. We may lie ourselves, but the truth remains forever. So yes, we always come here as family to talk about amazing topics, mostly topics related to mindset, topics related to personal development, and topics related to overall success as humans. What is actually success? That is maybe something that a lot of people may go back to ask themselves, what do you really define as success to you? Happy to know that, Joe, that you're good, good, good. So, guys, if you're just joining, we encourage you to make use of a comment section. At least that is the way we know those who are connected with us. And also, as a quick reminder, anytime you feel joining us on the screen to share your thoughts, um, you are open to do so. We can always send you a link to join the live session. With that being said, today we're talking about prayer. It's not a gossip channel, of course. It's not a gossip program or family. As I said, we talk about us. We don't talk about all the people, what happened in all people's private lives. We talk about general things that we all can learn from each other's journey. We also give room for people to share their personal experience. So personally, I always share part of my life journey that I know it may be beneficial for me. For example, once upon a time I was a student in the University of Boya, and I have somebody 10 years after I want to go to University of Boya. Of course, I may not be able to give you good advice or um, the exact things you should do or should not do, but I can give one or two things based on my experience. So it's just the same thing. So every day in life, There's always someone behind you. That's one thing I always want to encourage all of us. Always know that someone is behind you. Sometimes we get to positions that we always feel like, oh, maybe you're the least, or maybe you are at the top and everybody's supposed to be under your feet. But as I said, we need to sit back and ask what is success to us. So today we're talking about prayer. And before I proceed, for all amazing and super blessed people connected, what is prayer to you? That's what I'm really curious to know. And I asked a question a few hours before this live session on my Facebook account, and I had a very, very amazing and detailed answer from a very amazing big sister and an amazing soul, Mrs. McCray. And I'm happy and I'm blessed you were able to share with us that detail um, explanation or clear explanation of what prayer is, which I really, really love. So yeah, I know we all have when it comes to prayer, people have different mindset, different perspective, different idea of what prayer and different experience also because prayer is a point of it's a moment of experience to many people. So guys, let me know what is prayer to you because guys, I know on a regular basis, Monday to Friday, I'm basically active talking to people about money. I didn't even do anything related to finance in school. but it's just amazing because to me, I'm so curious about so many things, and I'm just blessed to say God gives us grace to learn different things and make us unstoppable, limitless. Though so many times we as humans limit ourselves based on the degrees we carry, um, the backgrounds we come from, we limit ourselves based on those environments. So, guys, please, if also you feel like you want to show us your beautiful or handsome face to tell us what you think about prayer, as I said, let me know in the comment section, and trust me, a link is going to reach you. so, to me, if I have to, oh, thank you, Mary. It's been a while. Happy to have you connected today. So for those joining from Creative and Independent Minds, I'm sorry to announce this that from next week I may not be streaming live on Creative and Independent Mind like simultaneously because I have a lot of flags from Facebook. So I'm trying to see if I have an alternative what to do. Then I may not stop streaming on Creative and Independent Minds if I'm able to sort out what the issue is, and it has nothing to do with this live session. Thank you, my brother. Promise. Happy to have you connected with us. So, as I said again, I would love to hear from different people. So, guys, let's keep the comment section active. And I'm happy I'm seeing some amazing people already doing that. So, my question again, what would be your simplest definition of the word prayer? I know we say it a lot, we see it a lot, but again, what does it really mean to you? Mostly to us as people who are intentional about their life. Some people just live, just exist. But I think to really enjoy life, you have to really, 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 really be intentional and be in the moment. Be able to know and enjoy everything in the season, not just the superficial things. Because a lot of times we enjoy the superficial things, but we really don't even miss the main thing. So what is prayer? I know somebody, by the way, sent me her definition. When the person saw the post, she pivoted me her definition of prayer. So I know sometimes people are concerned, like, what if my definition is not the right one? So that's why we have this amazing family to say, hey, we don't bite. Feel free. This is how you also be yourself confident, not always being too concerned about what people will think about your definition, what people will think about what you say, but also being able to express what you honestly think. And trust me, that helps you to learn. Coming life is not because I'm a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I'm not, I don't have a church. I don't intend to be a pastor unless God calls me in future. But no, God has not yet. So, but I'm just really, as you see, I'm always just being very open to learn about new things. Okay, promise says he's still at work. Thank you for letting us know. So I always like to learn about new things, and so personally, I've been in this very intentional journey to really know how to God talk to me personally, and Each day I learn new and amazing things. And today, not today, the past week, a lot of things happen good and bad. And that brought me to this topic. So basically I changed my topic. And topic for last week was basically also changed by Henry. So just to say, it's not like this topic just came in today. No. It came in along the line somewhere last week, maybe on Wednesday to be precise. And that's, as I said, a lot of things happen, but good or bad, not really to me specifically in my life. And I have to like, wow, this person, okay, one of it was someone who was in a very critical condition. That person spoke to me and we had a very amazing conversation just like the night before that incident. And I got to just really reflective, wow, indeed at times we assume life we have time and you really can't say tomorrow, because honestly it was a shock. Then the good thing also is like I just also had to look back and see the power of, remember last month was May and it was all about Mother's Day or mothers. And to me, I always like to take things very intentional. Like, what did my mom really did? What are some of the things? Because I do that by the one her birthdays and stuff, to really sit there and tell her the specific things I'm really amazed she did and the things I love about her. Which I encourage guys, if you are blessed to still have your mom around, do that. And trust me, it's nice. It's nice. So, and I just, one of the things that I really, really was grateful for is prayers. So that's why I just like the power of prayers. And to me, my response to everything basically is either praise or typically is praise. My response to everything, and where did I see it is based on the environment in which I grew up in. So someone being happy in a good day, my child passed and did this, praise. Oh, things are not going the way you want. Someone is sick, praise, pray, praise, praise. So it's always like that, praise, pray. And I think if you're a typical African, you can relate to the work a lot of our parents. And you know, African, when you talk of parents, it's not just your biological mother, like your aunties also are mothers. Like they just take that cap off, this child is our child. So if you didn't see your biological mom, trust me, we have if also you didn't meet your biological mom, but check the people who raised you up and see what impact that prayer has on you. And on this note, I also want to say, really, the prayers of our mothers have a lot to do. I'm not saying that our fathers don't pray, but I don't know. There's something about that of the mothers, like they take it, maybe it's the way what I saw, like fasting, like it was just like every day or every week thing for our mothers. So guys, it's with respect to that, I thought it's important, mostly in this generation, that I say children are giving birth to children without any how they call it, not trying to dodge from the main thing. Like a lot of children are giving birth to children not because they are not up to the age to become adults, but in terms of being able to take care of themselves, not just body wise, but their soul and the spirit, understanding their purpose, their individual journey. Because I believe until you know your own journey, then you can really know who you can assist and who you need. So a lot of people have missed that big and important foundation, and so too have many people lost the focus on God. A lot of people have been distracted, and a lot of times we are distracted. We have to be conscious about our distractors, which I'm happy to say those are some of things we've already talked about in different aspects. This may not be related to your faith or your spiritual life, but and we also have a full video that talks about the importance of having a balance, and definitely another video is going to come to hit more on that topic. Balance. When we talk about a work balance life, a lot of time we think it from the angle of I have fun, or I work and I have time that you have fun. The truth is, if we are truthful to ourselves, there are times even the things that used to be fun to you, and sometimes you don't even feel, you just do those things, but not because you even are happy. Or sometimes you go out, you're happy. As you enter back the house, you're down. So when I check what happened to people to have this type of emotions, is it hormonals? You know, medical people we have their own angle in which, but I'll start from that person, the foundation, and that's why prayer for me And guess what? My grandmom's favorite song, or one of her favorite songs she did, is Prayer is a Key. No copyright for this song. Prayer is a key. How many people know this song? Prayer is a master's key. Jesus started with prayers, and I used to not understand why what is special about this song. Why she would be singing like she just loved even now. Just call her and sing this song, you've made her day. She'll be so happy. So, guys, can anyone tell me what is special about this song? Because now I understand why she loved this song. Now, at first, it was just for me like a boring song. Like, because if you know this song, you know the MP3 of this song. The next one, I think it's Have you made up your mind, my mind? So if you know this old school, I love old school, by the way. I love it now. So who can tell me what makes this type of song so special before we go to what really we want to talk to them? You can feel free to share that in the comment section. Welcoming everybody. I see amazing people connected. So please, as we are already doing, let's keep making and keep on the comment section busy. I also encourage everyone to please take this minute to share with a loved one so that no one misses this amazing conversation. And trust me, I like to see everybody's face. We don't bite. It's not a sermon which we just have to come and listen and say amen. It's always a powerful and amazing conversation every Saturday, just in case you didn't know. And just in case you're joining, we are here every Saturday, same time. So, okay, yeah, that for me, when I heard also this song came to me, I'm like, my grandmom really loved this song. Over the river Jordan, that's the list, the next end, we shall meet. If you want to, in fact, if you want my grandmom to be happy, come and sing the songs. So I just remembered that by the way, not remember, I just realized that these songs are just the truth. A lot of times we have a lot of motivational songs that some of them are not true, they're just songs in the moment. But this is the truth does not change. We may want to make the lie. What keep changing is a lie that we try to modify. And this generation, we are so good. We like lie and noise, what I call noise, like songs that sometimes really have no significant meaning to us. But because it has some good beatings, trust me, the song is making sense to a lot of people. But definitely, we want to have the truth, and there's no happiness without the truth. And the truth of today's matter is that prayer is just the key. Yes, that is just the truth of today's matter. Prayer is just the key. Do I believe or do I think everybody will accept it at this moment? The answer is no. Do I think everybody is going to like this conversation? No. But does it mean I shouldn't tell the truth? No, I'm going to say the truth. A lot of times I know people want me to talk about how much you can make per day. People get into my inbox about Lucy, talk to me about investments. People talk to me about nutrition. Talk to me about biotech. Trust me, I love to talk about those things, but I love to talk more about this one, about seeing people genuinely happy even when they have nothing, seeing people genuinely knowing where they are going to, as opposed to people having everything but yet not contented, not happy, not even knowing the direction they are going to. So that is why this topic is so personal, and I'm so passionate to talk about things related, because it is the truth. Once you get the truth, you have the right key. You can, in fact, you have a universal key. You can open every door. So prayer is for me is not even just the right key. It's like a universal key that can open any door. Okay, so I'm not sure about where people are commenting from, so that's why I'm going to always take some breaks to read some of the comments regarding the questions I asked. So just be patient with us. Reason because I'm streaming on 3 platforms. I'm streaming on Creative and Independent Mind, which is my favorite page on my home. Facebook or social media to me is like office, and this office I have different departments. So Brightest Know is a department on its own, and Creative and Independent Mind is one of my favorite departments. And I have YouTube, which is Brightest Light. It's just that department, you know, where you have your relaxation zone, and that department that is just where maybe you want to catch, have some fun with amazing people. So it's all about encouraging people to shine their light on brightest new or brightest light TV, that is YouTube. So okay, let's go. Jerry, a friend in my boss. I have so many bosses in different angles, different fields, in different departments. So Jerry says, prayer is an act of communication by human with the sacred or holy God. The gods, the transcendent being or supernatural powers. You see, the terms are so big. Thank you so much, Jerry. So, one key word, if every one of us got what I said, is communication. Communication between what he said, humans and God. So, let's keep the terms aside. But thank you so much for that definition. Something also he put, this is for us to get into. I'm just trying to break the word a little bit. Get into the supernatural realms and powers, and that's what really I want to talk a little bit about today. And this is the song encourages people to pray in times of problems. So that was about the song. I asked like, oh, what makes this song special? So it's Agbofang, happy to have you around. He says, I love the song Over the River Jordan. Please, I need that song. Maybe we all are going to search for that song after this because I don't even know if we have it around. So, guys, if you see it, please share it for all of us. Thank you, everybody who's keeping the comment section active. So, okay, guys, so we are going directly from what Jerry said communication. For me, prayer is communication, and every relationship is based on communication. Every relationship is based on communication. How many of us agree on that? That every relationship, be it business, be it between spouse, between business partners, between God and man, between God and prophets, angels and people, animals and humans, is based on communication. In fact, even between bacteria is based on communication. Even between viruses that are not even living organism, but become living organism, one in a living host, still depend on communication. Thank you for everyone who has responded to that in the comment section. Thank you to everybody who is active today. So on that note, my question to each and every one of us, what is your native language or the language in which you are most comfortable in? Which language is that? Please, let's comment that. Let's respond to that in the comment section. What is your most fluent or comfortable language? It could be your native language. It could be a language you learned and now that's what you know and you've forgotten, because some people will say, oh, I used to speak my native language, but because I changed or went to this environment as when I was very young, I forgot my native language and I'm no longer fluent in it. It happens. That is life. So, guys, what language are you like? Mostly for those of us who speak maybe different languages or multiple languages, which language are you most fluent in? So, guys, let's share. Let's share in the comment section, please. And please, if you love this topic and this conversation, send some hearts. Emma says Pidgin English. Emma, okay, but I don't even see you speak Pidgin English well, because even they told us speak Pidgin English, and just a reason somebody was like, your Pidgin English is more like English. Yeah, okay, thank you. But everyone, please let's know. Or you don't have any language. So, well, I'll just leave mine at English for now. I'll leave it at English. And Jerry says to me, you don't want to share us your most fluent language. Okay, guys, it's fine. So me is English, and now being in Texas also is one of the things that made me I said so many things have happened. One of the things is just being in a community where I see like, man, you definitely need to speak Spanish. I think I've been saying that in every live session I have now. Like, I want Spanish is also one of the languages I really want to learn, and I'm learning and taking a lot of unnecessary breaks, but maybe necessary breaks. I don't know. Thank you, Dixon. Dixon say English. But Dixon speaks Kenyan very well, and he's one of the people that Kenyan is my native language, which I'm not fluent in. But by the way, I understand and speaks to some level. So one thing I've learned is the languages we speak. I start with that brother who says Frank says he start with pidgin English. Well, I love pidgin English because also like when you're going to the market, for those of us who are from, I'm originally by the way from Cameroon. So guys, irrespective of the country you're joining from, let's know what's that native language. Are you from Ghana? Is Twi your native language? Are you Igbo, Nigeria, or which language? Swahili is another amazing language I love. So, what is that native language? English, French, Francais, Allemand. What is that native language? So by the way, I've come to see the importance of communication, and language is one of that key things that influence how people can communicate. I may be speaking English so fluently, and I meet somebody who is speaking Spanish so fluently, and we can't even communicate the basic things of how are you, what are you doing, why so, and I just felt like, oh, communication is not just about the people's heart, how you feel, what you want to share, but also what you speak. What language are you speaking? You go to an English country and or English institution. For those of us who go to, let me say you're from China and you want to come and study in the US, you have to write an English proficiency exam. What is the reason for that exam? Is just to evaluate your communication as a student. If you're from which other country that doesn't speak English, or let me say you are from Nigeria and you want to go to a French university in Canada, you need to at least show that you understand basic communication with regards to your course in French. So why do they do that in schools? It's just to make sure that you will have a smooth program. Your program will be smooth and you will have less challenges. And now, my question to us: how many of us have checked the language we speak when we are praying and the language God speaks back to us? Because the key thing is about communication today. We all want to communicate. We all go to God to tell God what we want, right? And we speak it in different languages and tongues, and God understands those different languages. So my concern about it is not really the language we speak to God, but do we understand the language God is using to speak to us? How many people can say confidently that, hey, I even know that God speaks to me when I pray? So that's why our topic today is about the power of God's response during and after prayers. Yes, we all can go to God. We tell God what we want, but do we know God also talk to us and tell us what He wants? Because many times it's like I really didn't understand this part. So when I had to take some time to really reflect, what is prayer even? Like how am I praying? How am I supposed to pray? What is fasting? And amazing as I said, the first person who responded to my question this morning about what is prayer to you, what just hit the nail on the point. And if you go back to that conversation, you see that she's also in that intentional journey of us. What is trying to understand more about prayer and understand more about fasting. These two things for me work hand in hand. For for my religious background, I didn't grow up sorry in a church that is too into fasting, like fasting and routine. But now we are getting to it though. But now it's getting better. So it was not like fasting was not a regular thing like, but now it's something that I just love doing. Most of the times I want to hear clearly about a new thing, so I just love if I have something I doubt or something that disturb my spirit, my default response is going to a fast. And guys, there is a big different. There's so much. You know that some things that happens and you become so anxious. Oh, I want it now. I want to do it now. I love it. Then by the time maybe you get that fasting period, you have more in depth and you become more relaxed. Like, okay, let me take my time. Or something that you become so overwhelmed. Like, why is this thing not going left to right? Why am I not getting this result? Like when you get into that zone of fasting and prayer, you have more in depth of understanding of why it's taking time, what God is possibly doing, and why what you, which is important also for us, what you supposed to be doing in that period. Which is I think one of my amazing videos that a lot of people told when I started this discussion of it is sharing 1% of my journey, because that's what it's all about. I share 1% of my journey, which I believe every person who is purpose driven, you must come to that point of life to understand that your life is not about you. It's not about what you feel. What many people don't know, personally, I don't like to be on camera. Personally, I like to do my things on my zone, on my lane, in my way, in my time. But with these, like Saturdays, I don't even like to get up early in the morning, even if on Monday. So for me to get to a point to say, okay, God, eh, I don't like to teach, but now I love to teach. I really, really love to teach. Thank you, um, Kenmore, for joining. It's been a while. Happy to have you back. I really love to teach. For those who know, I like to talk now, but constructive talking, things that I know can help somebody, things that I know can make your journey easy. So if it comes to things like that, count me in. So basically, Monday to Saturday, now I'm talking on different topics, different things. Those who get into my inbox now. So yeah, so that was just to say sometimes you have also ideas, the ideas don't come from. And many times as human, we get so excited to get in the walking. But I've come to learn that for you to get in the walking in the right direction, you definitely need to tap into the source. How many people have come to that realization? Like sometimes as human, we feel we know it all because, oh, I've been here, I've been doing this thing for 10 years, I've studied this, I've studied biochem, I've this, I've been biotech, and I understand how these things work. This is what this person is supposed to do. But sometimes you fail to understand that there's something about that person you don't yet know. It's something about, like, I've been, for example, in the lab, like as a lab tech internship, and we had a patient we walked in, and the season I was in the hospital, guys, one day we had personally I had to actually get in contact with at least like 50 patients at least. And so each day, definitely, you're having patients come on with different stuff, different things going on. And no, this particular patient who came, man, from everything I just knew that what the person was going through was not a medical situation. From all the lab tests, when the doctor is running like suggesting tests, is based on the science and the complaints the patients have, and there's some that you think is this, and you try everything, and you're like, maybe this person needs some other spiritual. And why going? Of course, it's not like abandoning the medical search, but also you want to be spiritual. So that is just to say a lot of times people we want as humans we want to act fast, but I've learned personally that it's not about how fast you act. How many of us have realized that? Like it's not really how fast you go, because God is still in control of time. And what you think is going to take 40 years for someone to do it, God can make it in 2 days, in 2 hours, in 1 minute for another person. The same thing that it took another person, like some people, let me give you a practical example. If all of us are sincere with ourselves, how old we are, and we look people who are our same age group, where they are, where we are, we will see this. You see that there are definitely some people who are ahead of you. The same age group, maybe the same country, the same, maybe from the same environment. There are some people who are ahead of you in one thing or the other. Of course, you may be also ahead of them in another thing. And there are some people who are also behind you. And I tell you guys, if you're able to do that genuine analysis, don't just focus like where you are, the people behind you. Look the people so ahead of you. For me, that makes me to stay humble. To know that, hey, even though I may even be ahead of this person this way. My role will be to help the person to even pass me. That's what I believe in. Like if God puts you in a position, it's for you to work for somebody. But I know all of us want to be bosses, right? We want to be the ones sitting in these very comfortable chairs in the office, beautiful houses, amazing bed, family, good family, everything going on. But I've come again to realize, guys, that it's not about that. If you look, we all celebrate Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Why do we celebrate him? How many of us know the house he lived in? How many of us even know the city? I don't even think I remember the city, but I remember the work he did for us, for people, so that people can live more united in love. So, in other words, I'm saying that also what we pray really matters. How we pray matters, and what the type of prayer will make influences the type of results we get. Response, not just result, respond. Because a lot of time, as humans, it's natural that we are results oriented, and that is why the Bible warns a lot about do not judge based on what appearance. How many of us have ever thought about that? Do not judge based on appearance. A lot of time, people want to judge. Lucy, what are you? They want me to define based on the things I studied, based on my career, but I don't think that is right. I've come to identify that is the standard the way has put. What are you? I'm just a servant like you. That for me should be my best definition. So who are you? I'm just a servant like you. I'm just trying to be like you. So, but I'm just trying to say we all are lights, and a lot of time we are not shining our lights, and that's why to me I'm very intentional about people. Be intentional about seeing people beyond the physical, by seeing them more in terms of your purpose. What is your purpose? And in that light, if you're also intentional about checking what is my purpose, you realize that each day the information you have is updating. Each day who you are as a person is changing, because I also believe if you're this person who is spiritual, it's not about how often you pray, how often you fast. Those things are more like rituals if you want to take it that way. But it's about how often, how much, even it's not how often, how much have you buried yourself, what you want? Because every human being love to be praised, right? Every human being love to be at the top. Naturally, we love to be. Oh my God, Lucy, you're looking good. That feeling is good. Let's admit it. Oh man, I love you. This. It's awesome. How many people here don't like to be praised? Is there anybody here who don't like to be praised? Let's lie now. So we all like to be in this receiving position. God is blessing us. But to me, I think the tricky thing is what do you do with that blessing? And that is why I think that's one thing I really am passionate about talking about and also learning about. It's not what God gives you, but it's not the prayer God answers, but it's what God says when he gives you. So that is what is very important. We have seen great people that God bless them genuinely, and at some point in life, they went astray. Or the greatness in whatever area God blessed them, that same thing that was their source of greatness became the source of destruction. Have we all observed this? Mostly in this generation, a lot of us have been blessed with ideas. A lot of us have been blessed with great talent. But because of this talent and the appreciation we are receiving, some of us have become ganakos. We become like so proud that we can't even say good morning to some people. We feel like the people are not yet a standard. We can't say good morning. That is part of the destruction. Pride is a seed of destruction. Some of us have become so proud that we can't even listen to God. We just go, God bless me, and we don't want God to lead us. So communication is two-sided, right? If you talk to me and I sit quiet, I don't say anything, how will you feel, guys? Let me know. Just imagine I come to this live session, everywhere is silent, I just sit here. How many of us will still be connected to this live session? If I just came and I'm like, I just sit here, I'm saying nothing. How many of us will even stay on this session for 2 seconds? A lot of us don't have patience. This is mostly in this generation. We don't have patience to wait. Like we still, if it's not interesting, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds, we are off. We are looking for another place that they're gossiping, another place that's saying something captured, another place there's some things happening. So communication is two-sided. So when we are talking to God, we want to be very intentional, knowing that it is a communication. It is a communication. It's not just you talking. It's not just you asking what you want, but you want to also know what is God saying. For example, I can say, "Oh God, please help me to be the next president of America." And God is like, do you want to die in 2 days' time? So this is going to take you away from my purpose. This is going to take you away from your purpose. This is going to make you unhappy. And I won't give you this at this moment, but I would rather give you this other better. God give those type of good advice. In fact, God directs our path. That is only if we let Him or we build that communication, because you know you can be in the house with your dad and you don't have intimacy with your dad. Or another thing, by the way, when it comes to communication, I realize many times people we have troubles with ourselves because we don't communicate, we don't be intimacy. How many of us have people we are mad at but we've not talked to them for two months? How many of us? You have somebody you're really genuinely not happy with the person, but the same you have not taken your phone to call that person for two months. 2 months. How many minutes? How many seconds in a day? And now multiply the number of days in 2 months to know how much time you have not communicated with that person, which means you don't know what is happening in that person's life. And I tell you, if you're in that position, no, you don't have the right to be mad. Because we have communication in this generation have been made easy, but a lot of us are not making use of it, right? So that's just to say it's not about the relationship, nor what you know about God, but what intimacy we have with God influences the flow of the communication between us and God. Do we all agree that our intimacy with God is what builds that communication? It's not just the fact that you go to God. Just imagine, as I said, you're in your house with your dad, and every time you're just like, "Daddy, I need money for this." And sometimes to the dads, mostly like some African dad parents really exaggerate. They make the environment so tense that even good money is a problem. Why will you give me good money at this time? So, not to say it's always you. Sometimes we want to genuinely be in that intimacy, but it's two-sided. You want to be intimacy, it should be somebody also who is ready to have that relationship. Sometimes we are forcing it to be relation with people who don't want to be in their relationship. So it can be parents. I've seen children who genuinely want to have good relationship with their parents, but their parents don't see them as their parents are not proud of them in the first place. Their parents are not really genuinely intentional about building that relationship with them. So that instead breaks them and they decide to, oh, I'm not going to be the only one being in this situation. And each time I try, it seems like I'm just a useless child, and that feeling. So communication is two-sided. Now with God, the amazing thing with God is that God has made it clear to us that we are His own. So if you're a child of God, you didn't pay a price. It's not because you're perfect. It's not because you're righteous. So I'm saying that to this person or whoever who may be hearing my voice and saying, "Oh, I'm not God's own." I've met an adult of above 60 say, "Oh, for me, that I'm not God's child." I'm like, "What do you mean by you're not God's child? You can be God's child now if you want." God from the beginning made you in His image. What does that mean? He made you the way He Himself is, which means without keeping aside anything, what amount of love do you want for somebody to tell you that I love if the person is able to give you like just a full control? Just imagine you have a relationship with somebody, like the person's like, no, In fact, you're my number one priority. You're not just my priority, but I'm just doing everything I do for you. That is just one of the most, in fact, the most peaceful environment you can be in, where you have that type of unconditional love. And I understand that if also I say, look at God like your dad, I know that is a scary thing for some people because, as I said, I come to a realization. I say, not every parent is intentional about the love they show on their children. I've come to realize that not every family is very intentional about the words they use on the children, which is dangerous. So if I talk about your relationship with God, is like just look at your relationship with your father. To some people, it's going to be a negative event. But the honest thing is like the relationship between our dads and us is supposed to be that like your dad is working, in fact, like working for you all his life. It's just like for my daughter, for my son to be a good. Because if you ask me genuinely, right, who are those people in our lives that truly want us to be more successful than them? I would say our parents. That is me from my own experience. I'll say our parents because these are the people that they can go naked, they can give your last pennies, and sometimes they're even in a critical condition, but they won't let you know, and they'll still go extra miles to make sure that we are doing good. Now imagine now about that relationship with God. Coming to God, God, oh, I need money. God gives you money, and you go. You don't. How can I use this money? That money start controlling you, and the next thing you see, oh, this person has built 5 houses, but he just live in one small bed, but the person is still not happy. The person is still not happy. Oh, this person focus, oh, God give me a husband. God gave you a husband, but you didn't build that relation with God. How do I deal with myself, then this person, this other person? And the next thing, like, oh, the marriage become your worst experience in life. So in everything, communication is important, and there's no communication, there's no good communication without good intimacy. So there is so much power in what God says when we pray. So I just want to really intentionally take this time to encourage us, because this year I see a lot of ways like God has changed. Like for the song we play at the beginning says, we are in a new generation that God is raising fine boys, fine girls, and I put it not just fine, fine, rich, intelligent, super talented boys and girls who are in awe of God's works in their life. My question, are you one of them? Are you one of them? Do you have to be a pastor to be one of them? Do you have to be a gospel minister to be one of them? No, it's just a decision. You have to say, oh God, use me. But are you available? Are you spiritually available? Is your body available for God to use? Or your body is still available just to make money? Or your body just available to please yourself? Are you available? Because each time you sacrifice your food, which is like fasting, right? Or you start when you go to fast. Let me give you guys one thing about fasting, which I have learned and I love so much. Fasting for me, the first thing is this. I don't want to use isolation. We are the discharging. Is that the word? Detaching. That's the word. Detaching ourselves from self. So you have yourself. As Lucy Ebeni, I have my own things I like as a person, and every other person connected. You have your own things you like as a person, right? But do you know sometimes just your things you like and your feelings are distraction? Do we all agree? Let me give an example. Sometimes I just want to stay on my lane. I just want to stay. I am one of those who really like staying on indoors. I can do everything indoor to please myself. If I feel bored, I can go and start baking. I can start listening to a song and dancing. But again, I will ask myself that what is the essence that God will create me on this earth if I just have to stay myself, get what I want, do what I want, and nobody's benefiting from what God has blessed me with? What is the essence of living? If you die, you're going to leave your house. Their house will be there. Maybe the people after will just sell it for no for chicken change. Maybe that's what you spend your entire life building. If you have a company at the end, somebody will take it and maybe misuse it. So, but when you say at the end of the day, you say, okay, then what is really the essence of life? Then you know that the real essence of life is really impacting other people in different ways. But how do you impact other people without even knowing where they are? How do you impact other people without even knowing who you are? So, how do you know who you are? Guys, let me know in the comments. So, how do you know more about yourself? And how do you detach from yourself? Let me know from you. But for me, one of those things that helped me to know more about me, not what people say, no, not what the society standards is detaching, which is the word I said, detaching myself from myself, what I think about myself, detaching myself from what people think about me, detaching myself from the noise, mostly from social media. So if you're able, sometimes it can be, if you're able to isolate yourself sometime and know more about yourself, which one of the things that's why some people can fast for 10 days. And so fasting to different people involves different things. Some people is just not eating food. Food is one of the things that give us pleasure, gives a body pleasure, right? So if you detach from yourself, one of that thing that makes you happy is food. Some people is drink, some people is just staying on the social media the whole day. So if you're able to detach from those things, that is when you can clearly hear God. But if you just, oh God, thank you for this day, thank you for this food, oh God, thank you for these blessings, and you're going your way, where do you sit to hear what God is saying? How do you hear God? So, guys, let me know what are some of the ways you see to hear God. And the first question was, what are or the previous question was, what are the things you do in order to know more about yourself and more about other people? Because sometimes, to me as a person, by God's grace, before somebody talk to me in person, I've seen you coming. So before you say something, most of the time, God has given me about maybe some people I'm going to encounter the week, the day, and what they're coming. Just like when the angels were going to visit Jesus, before they reached the place, they already know how Jesus looked like, right? Had they seen Jesus? No, they knew the magnitude of that baby. That's what I'm talking about. Before um this person, before David ever became king, he knew he was going to become a king someday. Before Joseph ever became a governor in Egypt, he saw that in a dream. Before the brothers ever came to bow before him, he saw that. So God speaks to us in different ways. But what influences that power of what God speaks, the power and these things coming to reality is us. Do you hear it? Do you believe it? Do you understand it? Do you walk in the right direction? So those are some of the things I want us to ask ourselves, not just listen to me talk this day and go back like, oh, lucid conversation today was that. So I have Emma said to know who you are first, I will say is by identifying your purpose. Thank you. And how do you identify your purpose? I will have to say is by tapping to the person who creates you. When you buy a new laptop, let me say an Apple laptop, Apple products, people love it. But for you to be able to effectively maximize the properties or the softwares in your Apple laptop, what do you have to do? You go back to the manufacturer guide, which was sent with that Apple laptop. Do we all agree? To your life, who created you before the X and the Y chromosomes came together? What made there were thousands of eggs that could be fertilized, but only one egg was fertilized, and that egg was you. How did you transform from a gamete to an adult, which you are today, or to a baby, or to the amazing person you are today? Only God has that answer. Only God. How did you inherit this half genes from your mother and half from your father, and this half came together to form a unique person like you? Science Scientists cannot explain every step in that process, just to let you know, just in case you think scientists have the details. Scientists know about the meiosis and mitosis and the crossing overs, but there are part that scientists cannot still tell you about that process. Where do you really go to ask about your purpose? It's God. As I said, the truth, we may want to modify the lies every day, but the truth remains the truth. So I'm also saying to know God first is through His Word, and by God's revealing Himself to you through prayer and meditation. Definitely. So people, if you're one of those who have just been going to God to pray, tell me your mind. Sometimes you don't need to tell God your mind. You just need to hear God's mind. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to meditate. God, like there's one of this song I love so much from Reverend Doctor Paul Enech's family. No copyrights infringement every song. Let me do what you want, Almighty God. Let me live in your plans for my life. Thou is living life at this very past, Lord. Thou is living to glorify your name. Which means for you to be able to live in accordance to your purpose, which is what the Master says, in order to identify yourself, your purpose, you need to go to God. It's for me, it's able to submit to God's will. A lot of time we have our own will. We have the will of the people we love. We have the will of the society. The will of some people is Lucy be a doctor, wear that white, how do you call it, the lab coat or whatever, and be a doctor. That's what makes you and amazing people. And trust me, these are people who know me based on the things I've studied. These are not the people who know me based on my talents and natural gifts, just to be very honest. Because if you ask my grandmom or my grandmothers now who are happily and still healthily living by God's grace, they have different things and theirs is that we shall hold on every day. So they tell me what they want. I always ask them, what do you want me to be? And they tell me amazing to my parents too. They tell me. So when I said people who know you better tells you better. So they say when you know better, you do better. And my granddads had something in common, the both of them. When it comes to what that should become, their answers were always the same. Like always the same, and it's now I'm understanding why they had that answer. It means they were seeing beyond what I even knew about myself. So that is just to say there are things that even us who don't yet know about ourselves. But the older we get and the more we soak in God's presence, the more we hear from God. And the one way you hear from God is reading His Word. The one way you know about who truly you are based on God's perspective is by reading His Word. Now, my question to everyone connected: when last did you brush your teeth? Please let me know in the comment section. When last did you brush your teeth? 1 hour ago, 1 week ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago? Please let me know that in the comment section. When last did you take your bath? 1 hour ago, 2 minutes ago, 2 days ago, 1 year ago? Let me know again in the comment section. So, guys, for all connected, and if you are enjoying this topic, send us some hearts. And again, we encourage you because we all are in a generation that God is working in diverse ways, not that old school where God you had to go to the holies of holies, look for a priest, and the priest have to pray. You have to give human sacrifices, and we are in an era of grace, and grace is just something we can't really pay for. And that grace means we have that privilege and opportunity to talk to God directly. You don't need to necessarily pass through a pastor, because the truth is, if you build that intimacy with God and you understand the power of prayers and God's response during and after prayer, there's something you're going to learn. One of that thing is the way that you working based on that response changes your life in seconds. Some things I personally had, like in terms of my career goal, just to share a little bit about it. I had some goals. I knew this is what I wanted to do for 1 year. No, for 1 to 2 years, that was a goal. 1 to 2 years, then I focus on this. And I had a simple message that changed my path totally. And now, looking back at the road I wanted to take, I can tell you confidently it was supposed to be a longer road. And just the fact that I was able to, and also in that season, I was just able to learn how to live in the moment. And that landed me in that message. Like in the moment, understanding that behind every situation, behind everything, be it good or bad, God is passing a message. So I learned to focus on what is the message as opposed to what is the situation. And for those who want to know the scriptural backing, another thing I try to do intentionally, make sure that every step I take has a scriptural backing to it. So with that thing is the fact that, or when you go to scripture, you see that someone, not only Jesus walked on water. We know that other person who walked on water, and I didn't know. I didn't really deep to that. I said, oh yeah, to see it in this way. I knew he walked, but I didn't see it in this deep way. That he walked. That is Peter. He walked on water, right? But he started sinking. If you know physics, you know that when you're walking on water, there's surface tension. So it's almost impossible with science and with the rational mind to think you can only walk on water, put your leg on water until you keep going. So if you're rational, you will not even start it. It's not possible. Or if you're scared of water like me, you're like, oh, the water is very deep. What if I don't come back? I go to a journey of no return, the other side of life. Those who know the one I'm talking about, I know. What if I go on the other side of life? But initially, because he saw Jesus walking, he just trusted Jesus and he walked on water like Jesus, based on what trust and faith. But the moment the wind started blowing, what happened? He lost focus on Jesus. That initially was the reason he was able to walk. Not because there was no surface tension acting on the water. It was just because he had faith, and that's what was working at that moment. But now, when the wind came, it was so aggressive and everything. He started focusing on the wind, and what happened? Fear. So he started acting now on fear as opposed to faith, and he started sinking. So that taught me that a lot of time the reason we Okay, guys, sorry, I'm back. So let me know if you can still get me. I had some interruption with my laptop. Okay, so I think I have a response from Emma who says a few hours ago. So I asked a question, by the way, before that interruption back. Um, when was the last time you took a bath? And the other question was, what was the last time, or when was the last time you actually brushed your teeth? When was that, guys? Some people, you're not responding. Is it like you've not been brushing your mouth? You've not been brushing your teeth? Or is that you haven't been taking your bath? Okay, so for me, it's basically like, let me say, about less than 2 hours ago, just before I came live. So the reality of life is this: we know how to take care of our body. Mostly in this generation, everybody wants to be in skincare. So it's like a trending direction, like physical body. But I have always, and I will keep telling us the truth. No rational or normal functioning human being who is intentional with his or her life, we focus only on the container. We have a video or have videos even talking about the body, the soul, and the spirit. A lot of us spend all of our time, not some of our time. How many hours do we have a day? 24 hours, right? How many hours do you spend working for money? Check it. Some of us work regular shift, anytime, overtime, every day. So at the end of the day, you may realize that you are spending what do you need money for? Take off your body, basically, right? Your rent, where you sleep, your food, what you eat, your skin, of course, looking good, which is good. We need it. We need to do that. But what I'm just trying to say is we want to strike a balance. That's just the emphasis. I'm not saying that don't do that or it's not important. No, some people are so religious. Don't do that. It's carnal. It's not my school of thought. Unfortunately, if you're in that direction, it's not my school of thought. I just believe genuine happiness, genuine success starts and beauty starts from within. It's not from outside. So a lot of times we have fooled ourselves or we lie ourselves. We focus so much on the outside, which is the container. And inwardly, we are empty vessels. We don't even know who we are. We don't know where we are going. We are just working so hard. No direction, no purpose. So by the way, that's one of the reasons you see me talking a lot about financial education because it's one thing to be educated, it's another thing to be financially educated. You can be a doctor and you've spent 50 years in school, but you don't understand the basic of money. And at the end of the day, you may be going to save life and you're saving money. I've seen situations like that, like someone in a critical condition because the person doesn't have money. Nobody's attending to that person. So I'm like, really? So when we talk about hearing God, it's very important, mostly in this generation. And why is it important? Because we need to understand who we are, know that God can use even us. Yes, God will not use you based on what they said, what they think, or what you think. But God will use you because of what He wants you to do. Do we all agree? When we talk about people God have used, it's not perfect people. We as humans, some of us are too holy as thou, that we feel like everyone must be in this portfolio, dress like this, look like this, talk like this before God use that person. It's a lie. It's a big lie. So the truth is, God can use you, but you have to be able to hear God. You have to be able to be willing to be used by God. You have to be as meek. People will talk about, oh, David was this, Solomon has so many wives, but people don't talk how wise and humble Solomon was. Solomon was that person that when God asked him, after making a king, what should I give you? Solomon did not ask, give me 5 cars, give me money, millions in my bank account, make me the biggest person everybody should bow. Solomon asked for one simple thing: wisdom. That is what made him different. It's not because he had the concubines, and the same people who talk about concubines only remember the books that someone wrote talking about how useless all those things were, how he thought those were the things that could give him pleasure. But after having all that, he did not find pleasure in, he found pleasure in what? In God's presence. So that is the truth I'm telling you. You don't need to pass through Solomon's vow to try everything, then realize that this is what you really need is to hear God. What do God want you to do now? Is what will really makes you happy. It may be challenging, it may be like Moses going to Egypt. It's not a funny thing. Imagine you being someone who has impediment with speech and you're sending you to go and talk to people and convince them. People that you know they have a very hardened heart and head. The Israelites were not like they're not different with many of us in this generation though. Many of us don't listen. Many of us are too how can I say it's not emotional. Many of us are just carried with with um with the superficial things. We are just narrow minded. A lot of people, not everybody, of course. So this year, this time, this generation, God is ready and is using different people in different areas. I say this with all confidence because I personally don't think I'm supposed to be where I am, to be honest. I don't think I'm different from the people in the mortuary, if not of grace. I really don't think I did something special. Some people who are in emergency units did not do. I just believe if God keeps you in a position, if God keeps you healthy, if God gives you money, if God gives you the opportunity to be educated. Some people went to the same school you went to, right? They didn't finish, they died. Some people, unfortunately, didn't even have the money to go to that school you went to. Some people didn't even have, even now, are staying on the street. What makes you think you're better? Is it because you think you're educated? Is it because you think you work so hard? I don't think I'm in that school of thought. So I'm telling you the truth today that God is watching and God is talking. God is watching and God is talking. Watching, talking. But the question is, are you listening? Or are you just carried with what you've been blessed with? Or are you just carried with what you want God to do? Ask yourself, take out time to ask yourself those questions. Like, genuinely, what am I really focusing on? Am I focusing on me, my wants, or what God is telling me to do? Because that is where the miracles many of us are so praying, so much praying for, fasting for, is just in the listening. If we can listen to God, He will tell you us that, oh, you know, those two people you think you killed them, and that's no. I still want to use you. And just imagine God telling Moses at that his point where he felt he had done the most horrible thing in life. He's a very horrible person trying to run away from his wahalas, from his troubles, from the crime he has committed, from the punishment that could befall him. And that is when God could still talk to him. Then what makes you think God cannot talk to you? But the question, like just like also Samuel, when Samuel heard the voice of God the first time, he thought it was Eli talking. So are you also in that position that you don't even know when God is talking to you? All of us at some point, physically, we needed someone to feed us. Spiritually is the same thing. Sometimes we are not here in that position that we can identify God's voice, identify the stage you are in life, and look who can genuinely help you to be able to hear God yourself. Because if God is going to talk to a prophet something about you, God also is able to tell you that same thing and tell you that go to this prophet and meet this prophet. He will help you. So even to who do I meet? You can start from there. God help me, and who can I help me to be able to hear you myself? Because God may be wanting to use you, but you are in the wrong position. You are not in the right place. You cannot hear God yourself, and you don't have the right people to help you hear God. So you need the right people in life. You need to be in the right place, and you need to have the right mindset all the time for us to really benefit from the amazing power God has. And the amazing power God is transferring on each and every one of God has already given us, by the way, the power and authority to everything that pertains to life. But he tells us that we need to have what? Understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, and do those things with due diligence. Do we have that understanding we need? That's the question. Do you have that understanding with regards to what you're supposed to be doing now? With regards to where actually you're going? Never be too confounded doing everything that you think you're supposed to do and nothing where you actually supposed to be doing. A lot of us are so busy, busy working 24/7. But the question is, what are we even working for? What are we doing? Are we even working in the direction we're supposed to work? That is the concern. And the truth is, the more away you are in the wrong direction, there's something in maths that, like one of my teacher once said it that when you see yourself solving the same question for more than 30 minutes, check if you're actually doing the right thing. So that's something I've learned. So I'm like, it's not about us just praying and tell God what we want and checking God has answered it or not. We want to also be very intentional in activating that power of hearing God. Is really a powerful thing because an encounter with God will never leave you the same. And the truth is, when you listen to every person who has that opportunity, that intimacy to hear God in every domain, that person is different. You hear, and if you're in that journey, you will know. So there will be no way like you say, oh, this person deceived me, because personally I hate to be deceived, and I also hate to waste my time. So how do you avoid wasting time in a world full of so much lies, deception, and distraction? How? Let me know, guys. How do you avoid wasting time or being deceived or being in the wrong place at the wrong time or waste your time in something you're not supposed to do? Or in a relationship you are not supposed to be in the first place? How do you waste your time in a business that has nothing to do with your purpose? How do you avoid that? Let me know for you. How do you do it? For me, by default, the first thing is always to ask God for direction. Let me always have that confirmation. If God said go, I'm going. Full chest. Even if it is the most difficult, I don't know how I have to go. If God gives that confirmation, it's okay. And I have that scriptural backing, that thing I'm doing or the direction I'm going. If you know me, you know that I'm going there. Nobody can stop me. I'm going there. So it's just like an encouragement, by the way, a reminder that God still speaks and God still lives. I know we have a lot of lies that we have been told every day. Oh, that God thing is boring, is that? But the truth is, we all are seeing when you tell yourself it's boring, you tell yourself the lies. We all are seeing the consequences, not just in our health. That's why when people talk, oh, why don't you talk much about health, about this? I'm like, when you go back and dig, why is there prevalence of some things more compared to this generation? You see a lot of factors like nutrition, you see a lot of factors like lifestyle. And when you go to lifestyle, you see things related to our beliefs. Because of our beliefs, we do so. We have some practices that maybe are not even healthy to us. So it's not just about giving people drugs that, oh, this is the solution. Sometimes it's a drug that you need because your body is abnormally is doing some abnormal things, and you know that okay, this drug can help. That is okay. But what about a situation in which somebody is just having the wrong information and focusing on that wrong information and not seeing things moving in that direction of the wrong information? What happened mentally to that person? We know what happens, right? So I just want to really encourage every one of us that let us not just be too busy working, but let us be very intentional of where are we actually going to and what is God talking to us, what is God saying to us. Let us not just go and pray fast like a tradition, oh, I'm not eating and I'm going what the just do what, but fast should be, if you're fasting, it should be a moment of you wanting to really hear God, wanting to really abstain from yourself, wanting to really abstain from external opinions, want to abstain from every source of distraction that may hinder you from hearing what God is saying. And also, we have to identify different ways in which God talked to us. We talked about different languages. if God is talking to you in His language, maybe it can be through vision, and you don't know what vision is, and you don't understand. So those are things that when I talk about knowledge and wisdom, those are things we need discernment. We need to continuously learn. And how can we learn this? It's knowing more about God, knowing more about ourselves, and where can we know that? Dig in the Word of God, and also bond with people who are in similar journey with you. That cannot be overemphasized, like the importance of that, being in a community of people who think like you. Because if you're in a community of people who don't think like you feel like you're doing too much. But if you're in the community, as I said, in every journey, even if you decide to start a journey of faith today and you identify where you are, you must look people who are ahead of you. And you should acknowledge that and humble, like, no, okay, this is what I'm learning. But don't put them in the place of God. That is also dangerous. A lot of time, people we may have mentors, but when we take the mentors and we put them in the place of God, like whatever they say, no, God should direct you. God should lead you. You should have discernment from the Holy Spirit. But it's important to have people also who are intentional about discernment. So you can hear something like somewhere, and you don't know if it's God that said or it's just you and you're doubting. And you have this other person who have maybe a vision. Like yesterday for me, I had an encounter with somebody very close to me. I had something. I'm like, I saw this happen in this way. And the person had a more clever message. And the person immediately responded. I'm like, this is what I saw. This is it. And so for me, it's very important we have those fellowships. In this generation, people will talk about, oh, churches are that, but if you need to have a fellowship, you have to also identify what a church is and identify a true church. And church that helps you to build your spirit. A lot of us are too active in the body, and whatever part you are more active, that's what grows. So if you are too active in the body, what you hear will be based on what your body is telling you. It's not what God is telling you. But if you are too active in the spirit, you hear what God is telling you, and that of course will relate to your body. So if you are genuinely happy from you have a calm spirit, your body is aligning with your spirit and soul. Even your face is going to show you have less stress. But if you're too stressed with everything happening in the body and you have no time to the spirit, trust me, it's dangerous. So, okay, guys, this is what we call it a day. It's been a blessed day. I hope we all had something to take home over here for over an hour. And this was just to really, really emphasize on the importance of hearing God and that God indeed speaks. And He speaks to us or responds to us in different ways. And we have to be able to learn how does God speak. Like humans, we have time to learn how to talk. We have time to learn how to speak different languages, right? How do they say good morning in French? That people who do not go in French area, they had to learn French. How do I say good morning in tree? How do I say thank you in Yoruba? So sometimes it's just good to learn those things. So we intentionally learn. So also to say learning is a continuous process. If you've heard God today, don't say, oh, I'm really super holy. I'm holy more than everybody. I cannot commune with people. I cannot learn from other people. I cannot learn from people who in Canada, and I cannot learn from people who are in Cameroon. It doesn't go like that. So, oh, I am older than this person. I cannot learn from this person. You can learn from anyone, and God can really use anyone. You can be even and to me, I always say if you're in a position of teaching, which I say is something I love so much because that's something that gives me a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. It's just being able to know that I'm able to offer need to somebody. And of course, I'm just a vessel as usual. Just God using me. Man, it's a blessing. It's a big blessing to know that God is able to recognize you and use it to bless somebody. So for me, we should all always remember that as well. That if God use you, don't take the glory. It's dangerous thing. It's another dangerous thing. As you hear God, He's going to lift you if you start hearing God. And this message to me, as I said, I had to change it this week from what I wanted to talk. Why? Because I feel like there's some messages I shift. I shift like, no, I'm not yet. I don't want to talk about this. So this one had to come to me because I see God using so many people, but because the people have reduced themselves to what people have told them or what they think they are. For example, you may not be educated, but if you go and read your Bible, where for those who read your Bible, check who are the most intelligent, that the Bible makes it clear that they were 10 times more intelligent in every area of life, 10 times more than every other person who was even specialized in that field. You see, these are not people who went and did go to the conventional schools we think. And if we sit quietly and also look around us, look around yourself, you see there's some things that you can do very well, not because you study. For example, I know myself, I do well in business. It doesn't matter the type of business. If I want to put my head in any business, I don't need to stress. Some people went to school to do business management or business, whatever. It's good. That is just the route they have to follow. For me, it's something I can just sit and I have an idea and it comes up and I work on it and it's good. So you need to just, I'm just trying to say, you may also be somebody who is good when it comes to acting. You need to identify your skills and be able to allow God use you to use that your skills to be a blessing. Don't put yourself in that cage. Oh, no, I'm good in acting. What I did was nursing, and you just want to do stay in the nursing zone. No, we are limitless. God says go beyond Judah, Judea, all over the world. And you not go all over the world if you put yourself in that small box because sometimes you meet me, what I need from you has nothing to do with help. But do you have something you can offer? Yes. Are you ready to offer? Most of the time we say no. Because we have reduced ourselves in a confined box that we have to be professionals, we have to be perfect in everything. No. You don't need to be perfect in everything. So happy again. Thank you all also for all those who are saying thank you to you too for joining. Thank you. I see my one of my mothers, my Pierre, is with us. I see my sister Marty. Ma has been very active in the comments. And any other person, have a blessed weekend and we are definitely coming with more topics next week. We already have a good list of topics coming up. And yes, it's going to be different topics. Sometimes you're going to have some things from me. Like one topic definitely I want to talk as soon as possible is the secrets in succeeding in business, which definitely will start with mindset, but it has a lot of skills that you if you want to be a nurse, people go to school to study, but business is one of those areas. I see a lot of people want to start and the first thing they're focusing, how much do I make? Money. That's all they focus. They don't focus on what do I need to do, what are the skills, what are the trainings I need to get. You don't want to get the trainings, you just want to get the money. It's sad. So maybe that's something God can be teaching you. So it's good to go to God. Teach me how to pray. Go to God with specific things in your field you want to learn in, and be open and ready to learn from what God is going to teach you. Stay blessed again, guys. It's been a blessed weekend with us. And please, we encourage you to share our videos. That's the only way you can encourage us to bring more amazing topics. And that's a way you can also encourage me to know my time is not wasted, someone is benefiting from it. So I encourage you to share and like. And of course, thank you again for all those who have been commenting. I want to have more people share with us. This platform is about communication. As you saw, a lot of people were active in the comment section. And I always try to bring in other people, irrespective of where you are, learn from different people every day. But network and also with people's availability, like Saturdays, a lot of people have event like me. I'm even trying to see if I'm going to change this Saturday or a day. But I still don't even have another day to put it in. Hopefully I have it soon. But I understand that we all are really busy. So I appreciate and deeply appreciate us who have dedicated time this day to be here and to spend it with us. It's a blessing I don't take for granted. Okay, see you guys next time next week.